There'll be times in the huddles where they'll be like, Tosh, you paying attention? I'm like, man, Ellie is doing splits. What do you want me to do? Like, she's just throwing ass out there and I'm supposed to pay attention to X's and O's? Ellie is throwing her hair and doing splits on our court.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to No More Ink, the official after show for Ink Master Hometown Heroes that also serves up the latest in tattoo culture. I'm your host, Ryan Ashley, and joining me today is a championship-winning guard and elite defender currently killing it with the WNBA's New York Liberty. It's Natasha Cloud. What is up?
All right, thank you for having me today.
Of course, thank you for being here.
So excited, man.
So tell me about your interest in Ink Master and tattoos.
Why I love tattoos is my grandfather was like the coolest, most swaggiest Marine. He had this big ass eagle on his forearm for the Marines to commemorate him and the brotherhood. And I just thought it was the coolest thing from the time I was a kid. And I used to be like, I'm gonna get tatted when I'm like of age. My mom hated it, but it was her dad, so I feel like she could never say anything.
Yeah, the moms are the hardest judge.
They are.
I had to convince my grandma, who was in her 80s at the time,
that
tattooing was really gonna stick around.
It was gonna stay.
You know what I mean? Because in her mind, it was related to so many other things in her generation.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But by the end of it, you know, well, to say now, she's a believer now. She's
love
finally
that.
believed.
Okay, she's believing you. I hope so, because the artwork looks crazy. I love it.
Thank you.
It goes crazy, yeah.
But it's always the moms. It's always the moms that are the hardest.
It is. She's like, what are you gonna do when you're old and wrinkly? I'm gonna be like, I'm not cool ass grandma. What you mean?
Like, I'm gonna be old, wrinkly, and tattooed.
And
what
tatted.
do you mean?
I'm tatted.
When did you start getting tattooed? Pretty young?
I was 16 and I felt like such a rebel. Like I was like to my sister, like come sign, you know, mom or dad has to sign and they're not here. So like, you're gonna have to sign off on it. And I got this like little family one right here. And I thought
that was your first one?
Oh, I thought it was I was like the baddest 16-year-old. I was like, yeah, I got a tattoo right on my little bikini line, like little hip. They was like, what does it say? I was like, family. Now in like hindsight, I'm like, it's very cutesy, very demure, but I wasn't as cool as I thought I was at 16.
It's just funny because you're like, look how badass I am. Look how much I love my family.
I love them so much.
Look at all this love.
I had to put it on my stomach.
So since then, since the first tattoo, how has the journey continued? How do you choose your tattoos now?
I didn't really start off with anything like too crazy. And then I started to get into my patchwork. And from patchwork, I wanted to go into a full sleeve. So actually, this was my biggest tattoo at first. So if you look at like year 4, you'll just see like big ass this. And it's like, what's this girl doing? Like she really thinks she's cool. And then I just got into the patchwork. I love how it looks. I love how it's like informal. It kind of tells the journey of my life, my career, the years that I've kind of like figured out myself. And then I went into my leg sleeve. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. And my leg sleeve, it has my babies. I have a pity here and here. My grandparents who are like such an important piece of who I am and my family.
Yeah, I have a portrait of my grandma on me too.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it.
I think the coolest thing about like the patchwork style of getting tattooed, it's like if anyone says to you like, what are you gonna do when you're old with all those tattoos? It's like, am I ever gonna look back and put less meaning on all these important moments of my life?
Exactly.
And the answer is probably no.
It's not.
Right? Because to you, the wearer of the tattoos, it's not even all the way always about the actual art itself. It's the memory of the moment that you wanted to remember. You know what I mean? And that stays with you forever. All right, well, let's get into the ink. For anyone scared of spoilers, now's your chance to skip ahead. First up, the Flash Challenge, and today we're testing detail with sand.
Using hundreds of pounds of multicolored sand, you must transform this boring pavement into a colorful and detailed work of art.
So out of these two sand creations, which one was your favorite?
The octopus, bro. He went crazy.
You didn't like the sandworm?
You know, I want it to be like presenting, intimidating. I want to feel like the detail of it. And when I saw the octopus, first of all, the eyes are what drew me in immediately.
Yeah.
The detail of them, it just got like encapsulated by it. Then you go to like even the suction cups on the hands and where he's popping out of the water, even the minute detail of like the gray sand that blended in with the concrete.
I love the drop shadow coming off of this. I love it.
You would never know that it was put on concrete.
Yeah.
For the other side though, I think you can see like navigating through it, it wasn't gonna be the best because of the teamwork. It was very like island-based, people trying to figure it out, but because they were bickering so much almost during it, it's like they lost their intention of what they were actually doing.
How about you come do the highlights?
I don't trust you doing this. This is the problem. If you can't even do a tail, you can't do the face.
Yeah, I think that affected their sandworm, but the octopus was crazy. It was insane.
I think what happened with Kyra's team is a really good microcosm of what happens when you fight each other instead of facing the challenge together.
The octopus wins.
You must take a seemingly solid object and make it appear to be melting right off the skin of your canvas's upper arm.
Well, we're going to dive deeper into Ink Master, but first, it's time for Choose Your Skull. The tattoo requests from the human canvases on Ink Master cover a wide variety of subjects. This week's elimination tattoo is melting tattoos on the upper arm. Let's take a look at some of our favorite requests from this episode.
New school, melting, zombie, garden gnome.
That's awesomely cute.
I think this is gonna be my favorite.
It has to be.
It has to be.
I mean, she's just the cutest cupcake lady asking for the gnarliest, weirdest.
At least there is no other tattoos on her.
love
From what
it.
I see, there's no other
But
tattoos.
it makes me like her more.
Right?
Almost, or
I'm like, you've
instantly,
been
'cause I'm
waiting
like,
for
'cause
this.
I'm like, look at you doing something crazy.
Going out
Get it,
and
baby.
saying, "F it, let's do it."
Yeah.
I love it.
Metallic melting dragon in a pool of fire with a sword.
In the pool of fire.
Metallic melting dragon in a pool of fire with a sword. The f is that
I was
even
gonna,
mean?
I was gonna say, if someone comes into you and it's like, yeah, this is what I want. What?
You say, okay, I have a person for you.
Yeah.
Through there.
It's not me.
It's not me.
It's not me. I would be like, please don't give me this one. Please do not give me this one.
I know. And then when you're given a skull like that, you literally have no choice but to figure it out to the best of your capabilities. And it's not like you can panic in the comfort of your own home. You know what I mean?
You're in front of-
You're on HD for the whole world to watch you figure out what you're actually gonna do. I mean, you know a lot about like quick decisions you have to make on the
Hell
spot,
yeah.
right? And sometimes
Like
you
pivot.
trust yourself and go, and sometimes you're like, oh,
Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be
I
able
don't
to
know,
make this happen.
actually.
Yeah, I feel that.
and you panic, you
That
know?
pressure is crazy.
Yeah.
Black and gray Egyptian sarcophagus with gold accents.
Gold is hard. So a sarcophagus with gold accents. Gold is really, really
I was
hard
gonna
to
say,
tattoo.
Is it like you mix and match the colors, or how do you get to a gold? Because is there like an actual gold?
There's not.
There's
And
yellow
so
and orange.
There's yellow, orange, brown,
Red.
and when you put them in the skin, that's gonna look like melted cheese because
It's gonna look like
because-
someone threw up on
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or condiment. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
gonna look
Nacho
because
cheese.
gold isn't a color. It's a texture. It's a technique. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gold is composed of normal colors. You're going to use black, you're going to use yellow, orange, brown, but it's the way that you place them and arrange them to trick the eye
To
into the
bring out
illusion that
gold.
it's actually metallic, and then your brain reads it as gold because there's no bottle of gold ink you shake up, you know, and it's
They
shiny.
ain't tell us this in
No,
elementary
no, no.
school. I thought gold was a whole color.
Yeah, I mean it's a color, but gold is it's a color.
It's
but
almost like
but
an
it's a
illusion,
metal.
though.
It is an illusion.
Yeah, y'all got
yeah.
me. I'm 33 and I'm just finding this out. Been an illusion my whole life.
It's illusion.
If you're going in to make a gold, what do you start with? What's the base of
If
it?
you're going in to make gold, you need to know the composition of your highlights and your lowlights, your shadows and everything,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
because it's how you contrast the colors that instantly makes it read as metallic.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't come in coloring something, you know, solid yellow, it's gonna
Yeah.
look yellow. When you say
Yeah.
gold, you think it's shining, so you have to make it look like it's shining.
A colorful, illustrative, melting mushroom stained glass window.
And I love a stained glass.
So here's the coolest part about this one for me. She wanted a melting mushroom stained glass window. And in my brain, I thought window. I thought a rectangle or a square, like
Yeah.
a stained glass window with a mushroom in it. And so then when Seth was like, "F- it, I'm gonna do a stained glass mushroom, I was like,
And like the colors that,
it's just cool.
and he knew it straight from the jump. Like you could
That's-
see he was salivating. He was like, that's my mushroom.
But it's like, you know when you cook and you taste your own cooking and
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, nah, it
That's
needs
not
this.
it.
And sometimes you taste it and you're like, This
did that.
is it. I did that.
I did that.
That was a moment for Seth with this
What?
design. He knew.
Look at that face. I don't
knew
even
it
know if
was
y'all can
awesome.
close up on this
Yeah.
face, but he was like, yeah, that's my.
Yeah, it was cool. This is sort of a perfect episode for you to be here with us because you actually have a melting tattoo.
Melting tattoo.
Where is it at on your body?
It's actually on my upper arm
No,
too,
it's
which is
not.
crazy.
Really?
I have a melting butterfly,
yeah.
and it's not like
Yeah.
super drastic.
No, you understood the challenge.
I understood the challenge.
Wow,
I picked the colors
cool.
myself, which I was really like excited about too, because I like the light browns to like my skin complexion to the blues. I gotta get the white touch though, because the outside is actually white and like small hints of yellow. But you can't, I got it probably like 8 years ago. But yeah, this is one of my favorite tattoos. Everyone, whenever I'm like just walking around with the t-shirt, it's one of the ones that sticks out to them the most.
Yeah.
I love it though. I love the whole idea behind it. And when I wanted, I was like, I wanted melting. He was like, what? I was like, I wanted to melt. Melt that bitch on my arm.
Yeah.
And I love it. So
Cool.
yeah, it's one of my favorites. So when I saw this episode, I was like, yeah, we're aligning.
You understand the idea of melting tattoos better than some of these competitors this episode.
Stop it. No, yeah, because I was like, hold on, I like mine. I
Yeah,
wanted to put
mine's
mine
good.
up there too.
Yeah. So has it been like to move to New York City and start playing with Liberty?
It was insane. My off season last year, I didn't expect to be in New York. I was playing in Phoenix. I didn't expect to get traded, but that's a part of the business. And you pivot with your family and you adapt, but as a human being, that affects you. So all I really wanted was somewhere that I could be seen, be valued, be appreciated for the dog that I am on the court, the activist that I am off the court, the good person and human being that I am every day when I show up. And I feel like I found that here in the Liberty. New York fits me.
So we have to talk about Ellie the elephant.
Love her bad.
Everyone loves Ellie.
I'm not
Is she
gonna lie.
the new it girl?
She's
What's
the it girl.
happening? Yeah.
And not in just New York. I feel like Ellie is the it girl around. If she goes to anywhere, everyone knows who she is. Has become such a staple for our league, but like even culture, New York culture, from her hair to her nails to her outfits to the way that she dances, it's that unapologetically herself, that unapologetically New York feel to her. But man, she is like so entertaining. There'll be times in the huddles where they'll be like, Tosh, you paying attention? I'm like, man, Ellie is doing splits. What do you want me to do? Like, she's just throwing ass out there and I'm supposed to pay attention to X's and O's. Ellie is throwing her hair and doing splits on our court.
I mean,
I need a little bit of grace here.
she's taken over social media.
Truly.
It seems like the world loves her.
She was at Fashion Week before me. I said, this is
She
insane.
went to Fashion Week?
Girl, she
What
was
a
sitting.
Fabulous.
Cute as
What?
hell on those runways.
Get
okay?
outta here.
I said, Ellie girl, can I be your +1 next to you?
Is it gonna eventually be time for an Ellie the elephant tattoo?
Yes. I think I would absolutely add Ellie's head into
Yeah,
my,
a cool one.
Do you want to do it?
In her best, I would love to.
Yes.
In her best light. We gotta
In her
figure out.
best
We gotta
light.
figure out what
You could
her,
even
what
do-
her moment is.
But you could even melt her if you wanted to too.
Should we?
Should we?
The correct way?
Yes.
All right, well, next up is tattoo review. So let's take a look at the art. Okay, so this is Boucher's sarcophagus with gold accents.
I see what you're saying about the golds. We got a yellow at the bottom. We have more of a gold orange, I would even say at the top.
Yeah.
Now we can tell it's a pharaoh.
Yes.
So I love
Yes.
that because I feel like his lines, I feel like the lines down the sides are solid. I feel like
He's
at
a
the
so-
top it looks like my cornrows.
He's a solid tattooer. I
Love
mean,
it.
he only puts in tattoos that are done well.
I love it.
His design choices sometimes are, and it's like it's just a little off. This is Ishnard's zombie.
Ishnar became my favorite on
After
this one. Yeah, he did.
I mean, every single detail about it is so well balanced. The composition is good. The colors are good. It's just cool.
It's just really cool
Yeah.
and like scary too. Like she said, I want a zombie gnome. So like in that, I'm thinking I'm gonna be terrified. I'm terrified of this little
Yeah,
guy.
it's weird.
I don't want this gnome in my yard.
I'm so glad it's on that cute lady. Right?
No, I know she's so cute. I really want to know, like, do you have like a household of 5 like children, and now you have this cool ass gnome on
Well,
your
she
arm?
was a cute lady before she came in. Now she's a bit of a bad bitch.
She's a
no?
badass.
I
Man,
think
that's
so.
a boss baddie.
It's a baddie. This is Kayahi's Chrome dragon melting into a pool of fire with a sword.
I can tell it's a dragon.
A dragon who drank some chocolate milk. Look
Yep.
at that lumberjack
Look
beard.
at it. It go all the way around.
Yeah, it has the whole, it looks like facial hair to me.
Yeah, a goatee.
Like a mustache
yeah,
and a
you got the full goatee.
Yeah, and what sucks is if you really zoom in and look at just parts of this tattoo,
It looks great.
it looks great.
I feel like I'm Game of Thrones right now. So
Yeah,
like a little
great.
bit with the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't arrange things properly in a cohesive composition, it kind
Mm-hmm.
of looks like a junk drawer that was just kind of shaken up.
I got a nice little junk drawer.
You got a
at
junk
home. I
drawer?
feel
You
it.
know
Yeah.
the
Well,
junk drawer
I just gotta throw
aesthetic?
that in there. Just shut
Yeah, and
it.
it doesn't matter if you like shake the drawer and all the
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
That's,
matter.
to me, I think what kind of happened here with Elements. So this was Kyra's. This is the woman who wanted a unicorn skeleton in a coffin with florals.
Yeah, girl, that was never happening. But this, I f with it. I don't know if it's like fully melting, which was the assignment.
Yeah, yeah. This to me got a little zombified
With the
as
booty
well.
hole?
With the booty hole.
Yeah.
The double eye booty hole right there.
Double eye booty hole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. When we saw this tattoo, we were like, well, we definitely know how this unicorn died. It's like it got euthanized.
Literally, like,
Yeah.
dang.
This one was,
That poor guy.
but it was a really well executed, soft, pretty tattoo. She's
Yeah.
great with her gray tones. and
Yeah,
stuff.
I can tell.
Oh, this was Luca's Tyrannosaurus Rex melting into its own skeleton. It looks like someone threw a pie at him, doesn't it?
It does, and it just kind of went all over the background,
Yeah.
right?
Or he sneezed really hard.
And just
from
like
the tar
straight
pits.
boogers. Straight boogers
yeah.
came out, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we tell it's a T-Rex?
It could also be like she wanted to glorify her pet iguana.
Yeah, like, man, that's a cool pet iguana.
Yeah. This was Matt's rendition of the ice skull with flames that he changed to a chrome skull.
And I think this was Matt's way of like collaborating, but also saving himself in this
Yeah.
the competition.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The blue would have been really hard.
Really hard.
Color realism takes a long time.
I understand that.
First things first, he's not getting an ice sculpture. We got to talk him out of that one. It's just a skull melting
Yeah.
with flames out its eyes.
Basically.
Melting water, like a blue skull, is a bit weird. You won't like it. In the end of the day, we just need to find a way of making this the coolest tattoo, because I want to win.
But it's also smart too because black and gray, a lot of the time, you can go faster with black and gray than you can
Yeah.
go with full color.
I feel it.
And so when you are prioritizing quality over quantity, you choose black and gray sometimes as a shortcut to make sure the tattoo you're putting in has a better quality that's more
I like that.
longevitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it was a smart choice as well.
I do. I think Matt did a great job with the skull, the flames, the melting. Like he really melted the skull as well on
Yeah.
both sides.
Seth's mushroom.
The mushroom just stole the show.
It did,
It
right?
really did. It's such like a beautiful aesthetic. It's so detailed, the colors of it, the melting of it. Even for like the mushroom head, you feel like it's literally just about to fall off the sides.
So this is how he achieved that. And it's such a simple, subtle trick, but it's these illusions that trick the eye, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at in between the little panes of stained glass, the black connector,
Yeah.
in real life, it's made out of lead, right? So it is metallic.
Yeah.
And it always has one little highlight shine in the middle to show that it's metallic, right?
Yeah.
So if you look through this entire mushroom from the top to the bottom, wherever the light is hitting the mushroom closest to you, he left the biggest highlight and all those tiny black lines throughout the entire thing.
That's so
You see it?
crazy because I can see it so intricately now that you said that.
My favorite part about this are the few little stained glass pieces that have a stripy texture in them. It's such a cool approach.
And so what your brain does is your brain sees them and reads them, first of all, as closest to you. Secondly, it reads it as a 3D bubble metallic.
It's insane.
It's tricks, dude. This one's full of tricks. This is Allie's steampunk ship.
We love Allie.
We
do
love Allie.
We do love
We
Allie.
love Allie. Do we love Allie's steampunk ship?
We
I
don't like
think
the
maybe
steampunk
we do, no.
You didn't bring that melting effect into one certain area. You kind of tried to mimic it everywhere. It's just so confusing. I would have tried to steer that ship in a different direction.
But granted, from what the picture was that he even presented to her, I was confused as to what it is. And then to expect the melting throughout it.
The problem with this, I think that happened was to achieve the melting effect, you need a contrast between what the object is and what it's supposed to be, what it's doing, and what it becomes.
Okay.
You need that transition of those 3 different moments.
You can't see any, it's like they're all happening at the same time.
I mean, this to me is like, you know, a plastic toy that got left in the back seat of the car in the summer and it melted all of the way. And by the time you peeled it out of the car, it was one big glob. But there's just no part of it that tells you what it's supposed to be.
I would have never known that this was a ship.
Somebody said it looked like a banana split.
Honestly, I see it now.
Banana split? Yeah, it was done, like put in the skin really well.
Yeah.
Super technically nice, clean, beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a beautiful mess, you know? All right, well, we're going to dive deeper into Ink Master, but first, a game. Go flash yourself, Natasha. Ah! This is all about you showing us who you are. So you're obviously no stranger to tattoos.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love
so
this. I'm excited. I shouldn't be this excited.
I want you to show me, if you were a competitor on Ink Master designing flash tattoos, what would it be?
Ooh.
Oh no, don't tell me with your words.
Oh, I gotta say.
I want you to tell me with your art
Oh,
skills. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm nervous. I started sweating immediately.
I'll show you how I play sports after this. We're gonna watch your process.
Okay, so
You're used to pressure though.
I am used to pressure. So we're gonna start with, I like blues, but I wanna go like a light blue, cause you know, sky. And I just feel like everyone at some point or another should get a cloud tattooed.
The very first design that Allie did on this season had clouds in it.
You're lying. See, Ali, I knew we was here together. Yeah. You know, this is my logo. I don't think I ever showed you my Cloud9 logo.
Oh, I love it.
Because 9 is my number too. So
You want to change the color?
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay, so I think I want to erase because I actually forgot to leave a little space for it. And then we're going to change it and we're going to do, let's just do Liberty colors.
That's such a cool logo.
Thank you, girl.
It's cool.
Okay, this 9 ain't gonna be that great, but you get the point.
I get it, we get it.
Y'all get the point. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Now imagine that happening on the skin. You gotta
Has
keep
it
it
ever
in.
happened to you?
It happens to everyone all the time.
So what do? Do you go into panic mode?
You just
Like,
keep,
oh shit, oh
you
shit.
just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
It's called a happy accident.
I feel like it's like, wow, Ryan, help me, bro. Help me.
God. You drinking and drawing?
Apparently, what's in this cup? Let me take another
Straight vodka. Reposado.
Look, she already made it better, bro.
And you know what we need to do here? Wait a minute, this is cheating. I'm not supposed to be working on your...
You see what I did there?
This is cheating. Did you just...
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Did you just psychologically manipulate me into finishing your homework?
Yeah,
this is supposed to be a
because
game.
I didn't even know you could do this.
This is called liquefy.
Wow. Okay, this is my flash tattoo.
Wait,
this is our
teamwork.
Yes, this is.
You made the dream
our.
work.
What's our together name? Rayash.
Ranasha.
Ranasha's cloud.
Find us on YouTube.
Period.
Normally, a flash sheet has more than one tattoo, but
This
I
is
mean,
it.
once you got it, what more can you say?
This is Pitasho.
Pitasho, yeah.
Pitasho.
Yeah, perfect. As
Okay.
is.
This is the only piece of art you're
Get what you
getting.
get.
Yeah.
So that is 1 vote for Ishnard, 2 votes for Seth.
My vote for tattoo of the day. Well, tattoo of the day went to Seth with his melting mushroom, and the bottom 3 consisted of Ali, Boucher, and Keahi, with our youngest contestant, Ali, of only 21 years, going home.
The judges have decided, Allie, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
It sucks to end up here, but I'm cool with knowing that I got up every day and I did it and scared.
Allie, we love you.
We love Ali.
love Ali.
Man, I had a soft spot in my heart for that girl. I did.
I feel like I initially, innately had a soft spot for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she's the underdog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about the decision that we made this week?
Oh, it hurt me because you understand what it means to be the youngest one there. Very similar to how I came into the league at a young 22-year-old point guard, and you're around all these tattoo artists and all these basketball players that have been playing for years longer than you. They have tricks of the trade. They understand what it means to be in this environment, this realm, and then you're expected to come in, compete, lead, and do all these other things. It's hard for your confidence as a young person too. And I think a lot of times in society, we treat young people as if like they don't know anything yet, or like, oh, yeah, you're too young. And it really starts to like mess with your confidence in a lot of ways, but you get through that, and you probably felt that too, as it's harder, especially on young women in this world, to be successful and to get the same equity across the board. And so just having that utmost confidence in your talents and everything that God provided for you to be where your feet are, and just understanding what you bring to the table. I know what I bring to the table now. I might not feel it, and I need my other teammates to help me fill that table. But this is what I'm gonna bring every single day for y'all. And I think that's what Allie is like starting to figure out about herself too. And you said she was only tattooing for 3 years.
3 years?
So to even advance into this season, to, you said, beat people that have been tattooing longer than she's been alive. I think that in itself should be like validation back to herself. She should already have it, and sometimes it's hard to get there, but that validation in itself is like, man, half of these people couldn't even with me in this competition. I'm just getting started.
Natasha, I'm gonna have you weigh in on an important topic in our world and give your State of the Tattoo Union address on name tattoos. It's always been controversial. We always talk on this show about, you know, is it a curse? Is it the beginning of the end for a relationship and all that? It's always been debated, okay? But my question to you is, have you ever, or would you ever, date someone with someone else's name tattooed on them from a previous relationship?
No.
No? It's a no?
No, it's a no. And okay, so I'm also a person that like is, every tattoo is a piece of your journey, all this and the third, but no, not with that.
Yeah?
I'm your one and only.
It's only been
Cover it with a cloud. You dated no one before me.
Listen, oh, you just put a dark black cloud over it.
Yeah.
The rain comes
I'm like,
in.
yeah, you put it, that was a sad tattoo for you that day, so we're gonna put a sad cloud over it.
So you'd be with someone with the name if they wanted to cover it or laser it.
Yes.
You're saying you don't want to be with them if they're choosing to keep it.
I feel like we're keeping a part of something that used to be a part of your past, and I'm a firm believer in relationships in general. Like, everyone's meant to be a lesson or a blessing along the way, and either a lesson or a blessing, it still pushes you to where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to close those chapters too. So I just feel like if we're closing that chapter and moving on to our chapter, then that means like leaving that type of stuff in the past. Yeah.
I do think there's a difference too between getting a tattoo that symbolizes a lesson you learned from that relationship or that person. That's different than getting the person. You know what I'm saying?
Tattooed, yeah. I have some cover-ups. I'm very happy that I got the cover-up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that is a curse.
Yeah. This interview, it made my day.
It made mine
awesome.
too. I feel like I was hanging out with my friends today.
Yeah, for sure. Tell the world where they can find you, where they can follow you, and where they're gonna see you next.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I have a Twitter, I don't really use it like that. T_Cloud9, or just look up Tasha Cloud. I'm usually on TikTok more. I feel like Instagram's a little bit more, I got a button up, and it's very, on my TikTok, I be having some lit shit.
That's it for this episode of No More Ink. Don't forget to watch this season of Ink Master Hometown Heroes on Paramount Plus, and don't forget to subscribe to the Ink Master YouTube channel for everything Ink Master.
She killed that shit! Come on, man.
It was dope today.
Thank you so much, man.
It was cool.